Welcome back to another episode of the Ghetto podcast. I'm your host, Caesar, and on today's episode, we have a special guest, Dejuan, man. I'm glad to have you on this podcast, man.
Thanks for allowing me on here, man. This is dope.
Hey, man, anytime. I actually found you through, do you know Big T from the I Can't Make That Up podcast?
Yes, I do. Big T, huge fan of Big T, actually, and he's a huge supporter of the Grown Man Logic podcast. So, Big T, if you're solid in his book, you're solid in my book automatically.
Yeah, I'm actually pretty cool with him. I went on his show. He came on my show. We're cool together and all that. So I checked out his interview, and I saw you, and I was like, "Damn, you're interesting as fuck." So let me shoot a DM to you, and let me have you on the podcast. And we set up this date, and now we're here, about to have a lovely conversation.
It should be fun.
Yeah, it should be fun. Talking about anything, man. When you were in the military, by the way, thank you for your service and life experiences, all of that. I usually like to do this thing on my podcast where like I have like always my guests like share a story from their teenage years. So we're going to do that a little later into the episode. So if you have any stories, you can share it with them. Not right now though.
So we got stories. We got stories.
Oh, we got stories?
Oh, yeah. We got some stories.
By the way, it could be about anything. Sorry, what was that?
Now you got to remember, man. I'm an '80s baby. I grew up in the '90s, man. So like, we were a little bit less regulated back then. You know what I mean? So we got stories.
Yeah, '90s my favorite time period ever. Love the music, love everything about it.
Yes.
So why don't you introduce yourself to the audience, my listeners?
I'm Dejuan J. I call myself the captain of the cool kids. Author, poet, pro wrestler, father, family guy, podcaster, actor, fitness model.
So you everything.
Graphic designer. Man, listen, there's no bags left on the table over here.
Yeah, you doing everything. That's usually what my slogan is, live life to its fullest. So, it's always
gotta live, just not exist, man.
Yeah, it's always the biggest thing that I go by. I never go by because you only have one life. So
yeah, exactly.
Make the most out of it. Do whatever you want or whatever.
Every moment.
Yeah, I saw like a phrase or something. It was like, we have one life. Nobody makes it out alive. Live it to its fullest. Don't care what people think about you. I was like, damn, this actually hit hard.
Yeah, that hits different. It hits different when it's true.
Yeah, for sure. It was very true. Very true. Very true. So let me ask you this. Rewind to maybe like the beginning of everything, of when you started getting into like the military, then to wrestling and everything, and what made you start like doing all this stuff, like a bodybuilder, or not bodybuilding, personal trainer, books and all that.
I would say it started 2008. I joined the military because I fucked around in college. So by all intents and purposes, like I grew up in Massachusetts. Private high school, had like everything pretty much handed to me. I ended up going to Northeastern University, where I was a D2 school, but I was good enough where I was starting to be looked at by like NFL scouts or what have you. We won a D2 national championship, and then at a party, I smoked some weed and yeah, man, it happened. And so that Tuesday, I think it was, I came in and I was tested. I was piss tested because in Massachusetts, all scholarship athletes are subject to your analysis. And obviously tested dirty. And then they didn't kick me out of school or kick me off the team, but they took my scholarship, which essentially kicked me out of school.
It ruined your football career, basically.
Yeah, pretty much. So I joined the military in 2008. I did 2 deployments while stationed in DC, including one South American deployment, and then I did Haiti earthquake relief in 2010. Transferred to Virginia. Fast forward a little bit to like 2014, 2015 ish. I was in a bar. And this guy approached me. He was like, "Oh man, you're big. You ever think about doing professional wrestling?" And I'm like, "Only every day of my life. Yeah, I'd love to oil myself up, put on spandex, and roll around with another dude. That's exactly what I wanted to do in my life."
Yeah,
So
that's funny, man.
yeah, so he invited me down to his wrestling school. I went there and I turned out to be really good. And then later on, another deployment came up and I had nothing to do it except for like workout, work out and study for advancement and things of that nature. And so I came back bigger and then I was stronger and I was, but it also allowed me time to focus and kind of recalibrate and realize, hey, look, man, I'm screwing up. I'm squandering an opportunity to network and take advantage of all of these benefits that are coming my way. So at that point, I started to get focused around like 2014 ish, and then here we are, 7 years later,
Doing
and
everything.
listen, I've accomplished some level of success in everything that I've touched.
You have.
God's good, and that's just how I look at it.
Yeah, of course. What made you get into like the podcasting and all that? Like, what just made like to expand in like your business or something like that, or whatever you do?
No. So prior to starting, because my podcast is we've achieved a massive level of success rather quickly. My podcast is only 5 months old, actually.
Oh, really?
And yeah,
That's almost like mine, actually. I started in March of this year, actually. So
yeah. I think my first episode was April 16th or something like that. I think I was looking at the other day, and now we've grown that to where our live videos that are left up on Instagram collectively have over 30,000 views.
oh
Our
shit.
YouTube has, I think we're approaching 600 subscribers.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's always the best. Best success. It's always the
We're
best.
cooking, but yeah, dude, I was promoting my book, Dear Dominic, available on Amazon.com right now, and I was kind of on a podcasting tour when I met my co-host, but at the
Oh,
same time, I was posting like these motivational quotes, like every day, not motivational quotes, but like critical thinking quotes, like every day. Like if you go now to the Grown Man Logic podcast page on Instagram, you can see where like I'll tweet something every day, and it's critical thinking, meant to inspire debate but cause thought, and thought
mm,
breeds growth, right? And one of my former co-hosts, her name's Carla. Shout to Carla. She decided to put the four of us together, right? And
oh,
was like, okay, like she actually recruited and built the actual podcast. And I'm good at graphic design. My master's degree is in marketing, so it's kind of like
perfect.
it kind of all lined up. And
Yeah.
when you get people there that's willing to do the work, like anything is successful, or it can be successful. So we started that, man, and here we are. At the end of the month, we're in a Black Podcast Awards where we're nominated in 3 categories,
Oh
5
shit.
months, and the numbers just keep going, man. It's just so I didn't even want to be a podcaster initially. It was kind of like I don't have time for it. I got a bunch of other stuff going on. But here we are.
Yeah, it's actually fun as fuck when once you get to like do everything and start doing all that, it's actually get like fun as hell once you start doing it.
Oh yeah, for sure. I don't regret doing it, but initially, like if the initial like recruitment into it, definitely not. And then at that point, it's all about refining your mission statement so you can like find the avenue that you're going to take when in terms of like marketing and who you're reaching out to in terms of an audience and
Yeah.
branding. Content is king.
Oh yeah, it's always about that. Always about content, pushing it out, and always pushing all to the audience. So let me ask you this. Before you got into like pro wrestling, what age were you before like you got into it?
Mm, I was 28 when I started actually.
28. So let's,
Yeah.
let's go back to maybe like how many years ago? Maybe 7 years ago or something like that.
Yeah, 7 years.
What made you get into wrestling? Of like
I've
how good
always
you were?
no, dude. I always loved it. Like I
Oh, you always
listen,
loved
like
wrestling?
yeah, man. From the time I was a kid, right? I remember watching like all of the WrestleManias and then wanting to be like Shawn Michaels because he was the guy with the girls. And then when I got into wrestling, they were all still cartoon characters. I remember hearing the gong sound and being afraid of the Undertaker as a kid. And I also
The
remember
Undertaker.
yeah, man. So I always loved it. And it was so like I didn't lie to that guy when he tried to recruit me. He was like, "You ever thought about being a professional?" Yes, every day. And then like we were just talking about, you go through the 90s, DX, NWO, you know what I mean? What kid
Love those people.
what kid didn't get in trouble for telling somebody to suck it, right? Like and yeah, man. And then we grow up and you get the opportunity to actually do it, and you're hell yeah, you got one life. You got to jump on every opportunity that presents itself.
Of course. How long have you been doing wrestling, and you still doing wrestling?
Oh yeah, for sure. Like so the 7 years I debuted. Actually, no, I'll take that back. I debuted in February of 2015, so 6 years.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, so I debuted February 2015 on the indie scene or whatever, and then grinded was still good. Like you can still find some of my stuff on like independent TV network on YouTube for sure. And made a couple appearances at some of the top companies, and then I deployed 2019. So I kind of took a break to spend time with family beforehand. And then obviously
Yeah, of course.
I come back and we're in the middle of this
COVID and everything.
yes, sir. So it's kind of been slow. Actually, I just made the list of the 500 best black wrestlers on the planet. So I came
I
in
saw
at
that. I saw
number
that on your Twitter.
421. No matches in like 18 months, and still came in
Oh
at
my God.
421. So just looking forward to like them getting this stuff under control, man, and getting back to the ring.
Yeah, of course. Where are you from?
I'm from Boston, Massachusetts, the greatest city in the world.
So you're a Red Sox fan, I'm guessing?
Of course.
God damn it. I hate them. I hate the fucking Red Sox.
Why?
I don't know. Just a Yankees fan. I'm from Jersey, so New York closest to Jersey.
But the Yankees don't even play in Jersey.
Yeah, I know, but Jersey's close to New York, so it's the only reason why I like the Yankees. I'm not a Mets fan.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna say that the Mets are actually closer to you, I think.
No, not the Mets. I'm not going for the Mets. No, where you like located right now? You still in Boston?
No, I'm in Virginia, man. I'm still active
Virginia
duty
Beach?
military. Yep, still active duty military. Still down here doing this thing. I'm actually getting ready to relocate here shortly, to greener pastures, and then we'll see where life takes us.
Yeah, is COVID bad over there in Virginia Beach?
I think it's bad everywhere right now. I'm actually just now getting over it. So I haven't left my house in like the last like 12 days because I've been on like quarantine myself. I caught COVID like oh yeah. This is like my third round. Like the first time I caught it was like November of 2019 before it was a pandemic, and nobody knew about COVID testing and anything like that. It was kind of just I was in Africa, like and a bunch of other countries have bases over there. Obviously, like we kind of intermingled. I tested negative for the flu, and they were just like, "Yeah, just go lay down." Okay,
go lay down.
Yeah.
Oh my God. That's crazy. Yeah, 3 times. Damn, I only had it once, and that was this summer, and it fucked up everything for like me. Like quarantining and everything actually like sucks. I can't be in a house too long for maybe 2 weeks or something like that because I just like lose my mind. Like because I just can't leave my house, so I lose my mind.
Well, I think it's crazy. I think that's a mental thing. I think it's more like you probably wouldn't want to do anything anyway, but the fact that you can't do anything makes you want to do stuff.
Yeah, like the urge just to go outside, just do something, go hang out with friends, go hang out with my girlfriend, all that, just do something. It just fucks with my mind so much.
Yeah, that's the nature of it. It's like being grounded, right? Like your parents, oh, you're grounded, you can't go anywhere. Okay, I probably didn't have any facts. You're telling me I can't do anything, like makes me want to go do stuff.
Yeah, it's like you're grounded, but you just feel like shit 24/7.
Dude,
for like for 2 weeks. It's terrible.
Well, actually, like so I didn't have like bad symptoms. My symptoms were only bad for like 3 or 4 days. like
Oh,
where I didn't I couldn't like get out of bed. Like I just kind of slept all day, like under the
ooh, that's the
blanket,
worst.
sweating shit out. Oh yeah, man.
Sweat.
But yeah, bro, I was cold, but I was sweating,
Oh, that's the
and
worst feeling ever, bro. Oh my
yeah.
fuck, bro.
So, so yeah, but that was like it was like 3 or 4 days. I don't remember exactly which one it was, but I remember I actually did a live on Instagram, and like my co-hosts were like, dude, you look like shit. And I'm just like, I feel like shit, but the people need to see us.
Yeah, you still grinding though. That's all. Hey, that's good to hear that you still grinding, even though you're sick. You still grinding, putting out the
I mean,
content.
the time waits for no man.
Yeah, that was the same with me. I still put out, I think, because I'm a weekly every Thursday like episode guy. So I put out 2 episodes while I was sick. So it's always good. Even though I was
Nice.
like feeling like shit and everything, lost my taste and smell and all that. It's the worst feeling, losing your taste and
That
smell.
that is a word. Try drinking Henny and not being able to taste it.
I've never had Henny, but I've had
What?
other things. No, I'm only 16, if you didn't know that.
Ah, no, I did not know that.
Oh yeah, I'm only 16, but I still have like stuff I had. I like vodka straight up. That's pretty good. But I'm like a seltzer type of guy.
Ah, vodka and something like a spritzer.
Yeah, and also like the White Claws and all that. You call me a pussy if you want, but yeah,
No,
White
man,
Claws and
white,
everything.
white. I love White Claw.
Yeah,
It helps me watch my girlish figure.
just shotgun them or something. That's what I do usually. But I've never tried a Henny in my life.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, give it a couple years, man, because it'll have you thinking you're a superhero for sure.
Oh really?
Oh yeah.
uh, I'll be looking forward to try that. 100%. Can't wait to try that. What made you get into motivational speaking?
Always wanting to give back and help in some kind of way. Like, and I'm really good at like making people, not making people, but like I'm really good at convincing people
Convincing
to like,
people.
yeah, I'm really good at I'm persuasive, man. I'm persuasive, and then the power of life and death lies on the tongue. So you have two options to go, right? You can go
Yeah.
the positive route, or you can go like the negative route. I don't think there is an in between.
No, there
So
isn't.
um at the end of the day, it's one thing for us to jump on these platforms and on these podcasts and say, hey, look, the world, this and this and this is wrong with the world, but like what are you actually doing about it, and as a Christian, right? Like you always want like the better outcome, the best
Of
outcome for the
course.
world and for society. So you have to be the change that you want to see. So if I can change and have a positive impact, like I'm going to try and convince others to do the same thing. And like I'm quite the hype man as well when it comes to like partying. So like if I can amp people up at a party, like I can
Oh, yeah.
definitely amp people up to do the right thing. So that seems like the obvious approach to me.
Of course. Of course. I love motivational speakers, and it's like for some reason I like TikTok and all that, like just pops up on my For You page and I see it like and it's like 2 in the morning or something like that, and it just hits deep and I just get so much motivation from that. I just want to just do everything and just like grind the fuck out of everything that I do.
That's what I'm saying. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. You're ready to run through a brick wall, man. Like you,
Yeah, you just get that adrenaline or something. It's like that feeling that you just want to do everything and all that. Cause like before I did all this podcast and shit and all that, I was very like shy and antisocial and all that. So I barely talked or anything like that. So every day I in my mind at like this time at night, maybe before school, I was like, I'm gonna put in my mind, I'm gonna talk more, I'm gonna talk to more people, I'm gonna do this. And I just did that and did that. Now I'm here just talking to many fucking people in school and all that. And now having a podcast for maybe 6 months, something like that, 5, 6 months.
and that's what I'm saying. Like the power of words, man. Imagine that you just turn on a microphone one day and now you're out of your shell. You're a
Yeah,
completely
literally.
different person. Yeah, that's amazing.
And like I could physically like feel myself getting out the show because literally I'm having like usually before, like if I started a podcast maybe when I was in 8th grade or something, I wouldn't have the confidence just to reach out to people or do any of that. So like when I'm out of my shell, I just have the confidence just to reach out to anybody to get on my podcast. And if they reject me, I go like, all right, have a nice day. I understand maybe you don't want to go on the podcast or something like that. But if you do, it's a great thing to have you. I'd love like to have you on. So
I mean, that's what I'm saying, man. And like that gives you kind of an advantage once, like, as you progress, like through high school and into college, in terms of like marketing and putting yourself out there. Like you're miles ahead of like the average freshman walking into college, because you have like legit like business experience and dealing with people and trying to like network and navigate your way through the world already. Like, so
Yeah.
like having a podcast, man, it puts you like probably 5 or 10 steps ahead, because you already know the art of dealing with people.
Yeah, of course. Like I feel like I'm ahead of some like most like maybe half of my grade, and I'm about to be a junior in high school. So I'm already maybe like in front of them a little bit between like business and everything and like connecting to people and all that.
Exactly. Make sure that all goes on your college resume too.
Yeah, of course. Just put down I did podcasts or something like that.
And man, just put down the numbers, man. Be like, hey, look, man, podcast with this many streams, this many downloads, and everything. It shows that you're already efficiently running an operation, and that you're more than qualified to go in and be an asset to their university and to their campus. It's all
Yeah,
about wording. It's all about wording.
of course it's all about work. I'm trying to get into filming for like UCLA or one of like the New York schools. So,
Oh, nice.
yeah, I really love film because I have like things like I'm trying to be a filmer as well and still do the podcast. So do the podcast and like film for people and all that. Maybe try to get into filming for YouTubers or something like that.
That's an interesting niche right there. And like one of those things can feed the other one. Like, you know what I'm saying? You can kind of come on and talk about experiences on set. And then
Yeah.
that's a dope concept actually that you have.
Yeah, it falls into like the play of the podcast. Like once you have a podcast, you can basically talk about anything. If you find that one thing, you could talk about anything you really want. It's like an open conversation with anybody.
Exactly. And that's what makes it so dope. That's what makes podcasting so dope.
Yeah, like I didn't realize when I first started, I was like, the fuck is this? Because when I first started, I was like, I started doing only stories about my life, and I only didn't have any guests for the first season. I do seasons. So the first season, I didn't do anything. I just told stories, and it was just pre-writed like all in front of me, and I would just record and talk and read the story. So I did that, but and it's about like my like teenage years, even though I'm still a teen. But I do that, and then came the second season. I was like, I'm gonna do guests. I'm gonna do all this. Where do I find them? Then I found this website called like Matchmaker.fm and found a couple people on that. That's where I actually found Big T from I Can't Make That podcast, and then he what's called gave me all his like socials and everything. He linked me up, I think, with somebody else that I'm supposed to have on or something like that. And then I also found you. That's where I reached out to you and all that. And now I'm here.
Oh, dope. That's
Yeah,
dope.
yeah, of course. Always good to come out your shell and do all that.
You have to, man. You have to come out of your shell. You have to get out of your comfort zone in order to go somewhere you've never been. You have to go places you've never gone. Like
Yeah.
that's just it. Like,
I don't know if you heard of this phrase, but I think the phrase went like be comfortable being uncomfortable. I think that's how it was worded or something like that. Have you ever heard of that phrase before?
oh yeah, for sure. I mean,
Yeah.
that's one of the staples of like professional wrestling, right? Like the best wrestlers are those guys who are not afraid to make an ass out of themselves in front of people.
Yeah.
Same thing is true with actors and comedians, and I mean the list of successful people with that mantra is crazy, because like in order, yeah, you have to step outside of your comfort zone in order to achieve anything.
You know, of course. Always do that. It's always the best to do that. Have you ever made it like how far have you made it in like the pro wrestling scene?
Like I said,
Do you
I've
know?
I've, I've done a couple TV runs
Oh
before
shit.
on yeah, for a couple of the 3-letter companies up top, and then I haven't done anything like that recently, obviously with COVID and everything, but we're looking to get back there. So like as soon as, like I said, this pandemic's under control and we figure out what the rules are going to be for this COVID thing, then we have to sit down and reassess how we're going to navigate our life.
Yeah, I thought it was just gonna be like a couple month thing, this COVID and all that, but no, it turned into almost like a 2 year thing. So it was the worst.
But yeah, we're sitting at 18 months right now. So
Yeah, that shit sucks because it like that's I feel like quarantine and COVID and all that actually helps like a lot of people though with social media and everything. Like if you're trying to get into social media, it actually helped you a lot.
Well, I don't know if it helped you, but it definitely gave you an opportunity to like dive in,
Oh
right?
yeah. That's what I meant.
So, yeah, no, no, it definitely presented the opportunity to dive in. But I feel like that, like this whole pandemic. All right, so when this thing started, I was in Africa still, and I was delayed. I actually missed Dominic's birth by like a couple weeks.
Oh
Um,
shucks.
yeah, because of like the borders and shit not being open, and we kept getting extended and extended and
Yeah.
extended. And then when I came back to here, like everything was locked down for me. But where I was in Africa, like everything was like completely open, right? Like they hadn't locked that part down yet. So like I
Yeah.
literally one day going from like in the gym, walking around, doing whatever the fuck I want, and then I jump on a plane 23 hours later. You're grounded. You can't
Yeah.
go to the gym. What?
Yeah, you can't do anything.
And I'm just like, well, how am I supposed to? Oh, nope, better order it. Well, how am I? I need to work out. I need equipment. Yeah. Dumbbell set $700. Are you shitting me right now? No,
Yeah, overpriced.
bro, it was like the price gougers were crazy, and shame on these people for doing that, man. Because you know, like, yeah, I hear you, but I hear you making your money, making your buck when you can, but at the end of the day, if the world was to come to an end, you can't take any of that money with you. So shame on
Yeah.
you for charging $700 for two dumbbells. Like
Holy fuck. Damn. Where do you find that off? Like Amazon or Facebook Marketplace or
uh
something like that?
everywhere, dude. I wanted some of those adjustable dumbbells where you can kind of crank it to the weight. Like
Oh, that one. Yeah, I was
yeah,
looking
so
at that
like
one.
they normally retail for anywhere between like 190 and 250,
Yeah.
right? And when I looked on, I think it was Amazon. They were like six and some change.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's insane. I mean, no, not now, but I mean, like when
Oh,
I
no,
first
no.
got back.
Oh, yeah, first. Oh, damn. Yeah, because I was actually looking because I have a bench and then like some free weights over there and curling and all that. And I was looking for like weights and everything. Came to realize all this shit was like over 200 just for maybe 245 plates, maybe four, like just from $300 to $400. So it was like crazy. I was like, what the fuck? I'm not spending that much just for fucking two to four plates.
Nah, man, I spend that much for 2 to 4 plates all day long, because you can get a good workout in. I'm just talking about two dumbbells, seven
Yeah.
hundred. Are you kidding me, bro? And so I jumped on. I ended up buying like this like home like gym from like Nordic Track or something, and it was like a little plastic platform, and it had some resistance bands in there, and
Oh shit.
some handles where you can do like the perfect push-ups and stuff like that. So that was my workout for like 3 months, man. And then finally it was kind of like, okay, the gyms are back open. All right,
Let's go back to the gym.
we gotta do something.
You have let's go. You go to like a personal gym or do you go to like an LA Fitness, like a Planet Fitness or one of those? What do you do?
I go to actually I use a gym that's on like the military bases, right? Those are the only ones I can
Oh,
guarantee. Those are the ones I can guarantee that's following the rules. Um, Dominic there, he keeps a very busy schedule. He
yeah.
runs a podcast and a multimedia conglomerate, right? You got to make sure that he
Yeah.
stays healthy.
Yeah, of course. Always gotta stay healthy. Have you ever gotten into bodybuilding?
No, man, they can't have donuts, bro. That's like I can't. Uh-uh. So my cousin last weekend or this past weekend just got his pro card in bodybuilding, and he's been trying to convince me to like do it. And I was like, I would. I'm not against it until they told me that I could not have honey buns and donuts. Like
Oh,
I wake up every morning, I still have abs, right? But I couldn't win a bodybuilding contest without without like cutting carbs and counting macros and
fuck that.
yeah, exactly my point.
Yeah, I'm just trying to eat what I want to eat.
That's it. That's it. I don't understand why torture yourself. Like if I could go and win like say like 10 grand per bodybuilding show before I got like a pro card, right?
Yeah.
Like I would definitely like slim down and do it, right? And then I'd probably hit 10 shows in 1 year. That's 100K, right? Take a year
Oh,
off
shit.
and then go back and do it again, right? But the fact that you can't even make money until you have to win at the local level, then you have to win at the national level, then the regional
Yeah.
level. So that's like 6 shows, right? And if you don't get your pro card once you get to like the national level, then the next year you have to start all over again. So
That sucks.
can you imagine, bro? Like 5 years with no fucking donuts, bro. Like no
Yeah.
pasta, no nothing.
No, nothing. No donuts. No fast food. I don't know if you eat fast food. Do you?
Oh, yes.
What's your favorite?
Uh, Wendy's probably.
Wendy's. Shit. I'm more of like a. I like In and Out and all that shit. So even though I live on the East Coast, but when I went to the West Coast, I love In and Out.
Yeah, no. If you're on the West Coast, yeah, you do In and Out. You do what's the name of the other place out there?
Carl's Jr.
No, because they got Hardee's on the East Coast, so they're pretty much the same.
Uh,
There's another spot out there that's like West Coast, like
Shake Shack.
is it Shake Shack?
Is that? I thought that was East Coast as well.
No, that's the East Coast thing. No, it's In and Out and
Whataburger? No.
Whataburger.
A
No, that is
Whataburger?
Whataburger. Yeah,
Oh, yeah, that's in Texas, I think, and all that.
yeah, but I think Texas
And
is
West
far.
Coast. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Texas
what
and
I'm saying.
West Coast.
Texas is as far east as that thing comes. So it's kind
Yeah.
of like, yeah. So if you're over there, you got to do what you got to do. But if you're in Cali though, it's definitely about street tacos for sure. But
Oh, those are amazing. Holy fuck. Like the vendors
yeah,
and all that.
yes, sir, yes, sir. And
You, what were you saying?
okay.
Nah, what were you saying?
Oh no, I'm saying like that's where you got to go, man. And then before all of this, politics and everything came up. You know what I mean? You slide over to Mexico, get you some tacos from over there, man. Like, oh my god.
I love Mexican food, especially the fruit with the tahine and all that. Oh my god, I
Oh, bro,
love
so
that.
you get you some some citrus fruit, like some watermelon or like
Yeah.
with some tahine. Oh my
Oh my
goodness,
god, it's amazing. It's like heaven in your mouth. It's so fucking good.
yeah, it's like a party. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Did I could like live off of that street tacos and that? Oh, I could live off of that.
Oh my, yeah, man. Yeah, now you're talking. Now you're talking. See,
Yeah,
now we're
now,
speaking the same language.
yeah, now we speaking the same language. Maybe get some alcohol in our systems, then have that.
Oh
Ooh,
my goodness.
that's amazing. That's always the best. Just to have that after like you're like hungover or something like that, maybe
Yeah,
drunk.
man. You just walking around day drinking, eating tacos and some citrus fruit with some tahini, man. Yes, sir.
Oof, it's amazing. Of course, it's amazing. Yeah, have any more to talk about? Because we're about to get into the segment of where we share teen stories from your teenage years.
No, man. Just listen, man. I just want everybody to take a moment, man, and breathe and realize we're gonna be okay. This is gonna be fine, man. We have to, stop the capping, remain
Yeah,
positive, and we're gonna be just fine, man. The world will be back to normal. Like
we'll get through this.
yeah, man. But you have to protect yourself. I'm not saying go get the shot. I'm not saying don't get the shot, but do one or the other. Either get the shot or wear the mask.
Yeah,
And
do something.
do something.
Yeah, you can't not get the shot and not wear a mask. It's like what?
Don't be out here all willy nilly, man. Just you know what I'm saying.
Of course. Do something. So yeah, this part where we share any stories from your teenage years. If it could be when you first time you got laid, first kiss, when you stole something, or if you stole something, fights, suspended from school, anything.
All right. So in Boston, a couple like once every like 8 years or so, right? We'll get like a massive snowstorm. You're from Georgia. You're from Jersey. You know how it goes down, right?
Oh yeah, that shit
Like
sucks.
well, it sucks when you have to shovel it, but as a kid, right?
You can jump in it.
You're jumping in it, right? So we had I think it was 2008, I believe, or 2000. No, this had to be like 2005 or
I was
three.
born. Oh shit.
Something like that, man. Well, there was this massive like nor'easter, man, and it was like it gave us like probably 6, 8 feet of snow, bro. And then, after you shovel, you're throwing everything into your yard, right? And and for those of y'all who aren't familiar with the Northeast, right, a lot of the houses are like 2-family, 3-family houses. So we lived on the second floor. My grandma lived on the first one, like the first apartment. And then,
Yeah.
so we're on the balcony, right, like which is my front porch,
Yeah.
jumping into the yard because we had about like 10 feet of snow, right? And the neighbor said something to us. Hey, you guys are gonna get hurt. You need to be careful. You guys can break a leg. You don't know what you're landing on, and you don't know what's under there in the yard. And blah blah blah. We're just, yeah, pretty much, yeah, fuck you.
Yeah, fuck you.
And so he called our parents, right? And
Yeah.
obviously they come home. Hey, what the hell are you guys doing? This, that, and the third. And so we get in trouble. Hey, we can't play in the snow for the rest of the week. Okay,
Oh,
cool.
that shit sucks.
So the snow melts for the first day of like spring, right? And he was real particular about his hedges. So we went out there and we kept throwing like footballs and basketball, like breaking into his hedges. And then we went and took these super soaker water guns and put every cleaning supply in our house in there, and we squirted "fuck you" in his driveway. So every time it rained for about 6 months, man, it would suds it would suds up, man. And obviously we got grounded for that as well, but it was so worth it. Every time it rained, bro, all you would see is like fuck you. Yes.
Fuck you, suck my dick or something. Oh my god, bro, that's a genius idea. You come up with that?
Actually, my little brother did.
He's a genius for that one.
Yeah, man, he was like, so we went back up to the same roof, right, that he told on us for being on, and we just squirted like fuck you, like with it, and we're talking ammonia, like dish soap, every cleaning supply we had in the house like got mixed into this super soaker, man. And like I said, every time it rained, it just sudsed up, and this is the middle of spring, right? So like,
oh, so it rained a good amount.
Yeah, so and so like every other day, like every 3 days, it's raining, and that's all you see in his driveway, dude. Like it was and his hedges were fucked up. So like we got our revenge on dear old Mr. Robinson. I feel bad now, but yeah, man. But
sounds like a name that you find in like a cartoon, and you just get like the bad kid just bullying on Mr. Robinson.
I mean, that was his name, man. No, I mean, don't get me wrong. He was an asshole, man. Like we didn't bully him, but like, you know what I'm saying, like. Yeah, oh yeah, he's an asshole, man. Especially about his hedges. Like if he no, because you got to remember, he was so particular about his lawn and his hedges that if if we were playing like football in the street or stickball or something in the street and our ball went into his yard, instead of giving it back to us, he just fucking flattened the ball.
Yeah,
he was that
damn.
He was that kind of guy. So,
that guy.
Yeah, I mean, but our parents loved him, you know what I mean? And how could you do this to Mr. Robinson? Mr. Robinson's dick. That's why.
Yeah, see what he does to our fucking footballs and all that shit. Then you'll see he's not a nice guy. He's a fucking dickhead.
Yeah, you give me $100 a month in allowance, and I never have any money because I keep replacing my balls because this guy keep fucking flattening them.
You waste all your budget on fucking footballs and all that.
Yeah, man, fuck that guy, man. Yeah. Well, not now, but I mean, like that version of him, fuck him.
Yeah, when you were a teenager, fuck that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think it was in 2005 as well, because when I was born, there was like a really bad snowstorm. Like I couldn't leave the hospital. I was stuck in the hospital for like a couple of days.
Yeah, Rob. I want to say that was 2005 that happened. Because like we like every like 5 years or so, man, the Northeast will get like slammed with snow, and like it's weird. I think that was 2005 that happened. Long time ago, man. A lot of drinking and a lot of killed brain cells since then. But
now there were just recent floodings and all that. Did you get hit by that new storm? Ida, whatever the fuck it's called?
Nah, so those storms actually, ironically, Virginia is actually below sea level, right? But we never flood out, knock on wood. Like, but like it's because what is weird though, because it's kind of like the weatherman will say, hey, this storm is not going to hit us, and it'll fuck up like a town, right? And they'll say, hey, this is gonna hit us, and it'll blow over like a lawn chair. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's the weather people they always misdiagnose these tropical storms. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, I thought it was only supposed to hit Louisiana, but then hit Jersey. Actually, it was fucked. Like where I'm from, where I was, like there was a zoo. All the animals got let free because of all the flooding and everything. Yeah, it almost remind me of like Noah's Ark or some shit like that. You had like 10 inches or 11 inches of rain. You had wild animals just roaming around the state. And then also if I
Oh
lost
shit.
power, my whole basement would have flooded, and then all this, like I have a whole setup because I used to be like a gamer and stuff like that, so I had a whole setup for like PC and everything, so that would have been destroyed, and that's over like $5,000. So
Oh shit.
yeah, I'm kind of lucky that my basement didn't flooded.
It's like Jumanji up there.
Yeah, it's terrible.
The original one, not this remake, the original one.
Yeah, fuck the remake.
Yeah, fuck the remake.
Yeah, original is always better in almost every movie. Like almost every movie, original is
Yeah,
better, I feel like.
yeah, no, for sure.
Like
For sure.
Mortal Kombat, original, one of the
Yeah.
best. Oh my god, love that. It's probably one of the
Actually,
best.
I don't think I minded the remake. It wasn't as good as the first one, but I don't think I minded it. Where most movies, I hate the remake. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what me with like music as well, like the remix and all that. Fuck that. I
Well, dude,
cannot
that's all.
listen to that.
That's all your generation knows how to do, man. Like, you guys, your generation doesn't make
Uh,
original music anymore, man. Like, you
yeah,
gotta
and we have no talent, all auto tune.
all auto tune, and no creativity either. Like, it's kind of like you say,
No.
"Oh, fuck it, man. I'm just gonna sample this beat, this bass line, and we're gonna call it good." What?
Yeah, let me sample this. Let me take the same exact words. Let me just change up one word, and then it'll be like a hit. It's like fuck, stop copying. Just come up with like original ideas or something like that.
Yeah, man, it was a hit when I heard it the first time. I mean, what do you?
What do you expect it to be better? No, you're fucking 16 trying to make a good hit, trying to remake something. No, you're not good.
Yeah, Christ, man.
That's why I like the 90s, because when my dad showed me like all the 90s songs and all that, I just fell in love because it was actually like original good music. I was like, all right, I love this music, especially like Slick Rick. Love that. Fucking love him, bro. Love
Yes,
his music.
Slick Rick the Ruler, man. Him and Dougie Fresh.
Yeah, love them. Love those people. Love their music. Love Mona Lisa, Children's Story, all that. Fucking two favorite songs by him.
Yeah, man. See, yeah, you know what's up. Yeah, you know
Yeah.
what's up.
Yeah. I'm not I'm
They're
not like a guy that loves all like the rap. Like I used to be on all that. Now I'm like, come to realize the shit is fucking terrible, except for some songs.
there is hope for your generation. Thank goodness.
Yeah, there's some, but most of it, nah, there's not that much hope from our
I mean,
generation.
there's hope for your generation. Some is better than none. That's for sure.
Yeah, some is better than none, but most people are very sensitive nowadays. So I gotta say.
Yeah, you don't got to tell me that.
Yeah, I hate it. People, you say one thing, oh, you get canceled. You'll get canceled.
Hey, man, I almost got canceled 3 times last week. You
Why?
kidding me?
What happened?
I mean, well, because man, I don't put up with people's shit, man. And I believe in holding people accountable. That's kind of like the basis of like the Grown Man Logic podcast is like accountability.
Oh
So,
yeah.
when you see like a post or they're saying like, men are trash. Okay, well, why? Let's
Oh,
talk about it.
what? I hate those type of people. Men are trash, but then there is no men in this world. You can't have kids.
Well, I mean, yeah. See, you can't say that. You can't say it. You see right now. You're trying to get canceled. You're not even 20 yet. You see?
Why? I can't say that. Yeah, fuck this. I'm not even gonna say anything about that topic at all. I'm not trying to get canceled. Please don't
They,
cancel
they,
me.
yeah, they're coming for you, man.
Yeah, that's why I'd never get on those topics. That's why if you're ever live, I don't get on those topics. Maybe when I'm not recording off air, I'll talk about that. But other than that, not when I'm recording. Fuck that. I'm not gonna talk about that.
But see, and that's why podcasts like mine exist, so we can talk about this kind of stuff. I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid to get canceled, And it's kind of like, but yeah, they'll definitely come. But to see my saving grace is that when I'm talking about this kind of stuff, I've already researched it with stats, and like I know how to debate, so I can disarm like all of the opinions. And
Oh
I'm just
yeah.
kind of like, okay, well, you think that men are trash, but it's 78% of women file for divorce, so. Uh, if that's the case, then who's really destroying the dating game? Who's destroying relationships? See, and that's not a conversation that most people are willing to have. So you can't cancel me because what I'm saying is right.
It's
And the
facts.
only thing you can do is have an opinion about my delivery, which
Yeah.
there
Fuck
you
you.
go.
Fuck that.
Yeah, pretty big. Yep, load my super soaker with the cleaning supplies. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm just gonna do that. Say, fuck you, suck my dick. Yeah, that's why I never get into those conversations. That's why I also don't get into politics at all. Fuck that.
Nah,
Not
man.
too
I
big on
mean,
that.
shit. You might should, man. If you're trying to grow your listenership, you might want to just come out, get one viral moment, and get everybody paying attention.
Yeah,
And be like, I know why you guys came here. You're expecting me to talk about this, but this is not this podcast at all.
Talk about this, but then you hear somebody completely different about getting fucked or something like that.
Yeah, for sure. And then you just like, oh, what the fuck, man? And there you go. But now you got them hooked, and you've got all these listeners, and most people are too lazy to unsubscribe. So
That's what I noticed. That's what me sometimes if I sub to somebody or something and I don't like their content, I'm too lazy to unsubscribe or something like that. So I'm just gonna stay subscribed or followed, depending on what platform you're on.
yeah, exactly. Most people don't like it. Like, so it's kind of like there's a bunch of people that see content that they don't like, but if you watch it for 6 seconds, guess what? I get credit for the view. So
Yeah. And then that turns into more views, and then it turns into like you get ads, more money, and all that.
exactly. So by the time that you remember that you don't like me, I've already gotten credit for your view. So
Yeah, you're just giving me more money. So thank you.
thank you.
Even if you hate me, even if you think I'm a dickhead or something like that, thank you for giving me money and paying for my food, paying
I
for
mean,
my McDonald's.
well, I mean, I actually encourage people to disagree with me. Like, if you disagree, leave it in the comments. Leave your disagreement in the comments. Let me know, because your likes and your dislikes, they count for the same engagement. So
Yeah.
even if you want to tell me that I'm a fucked up misogynistic piece of shit, put that in the comments, and we can discuss it. We can have a little back and forth. You know what
Yeah,
I'm
we
saying?
could talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not that smart on that stuff, so I can never really talk about that stuff because it's not. I don't have the facts. Because if I would ever talk about it, I would get like shut the fuck up because like I'd get like instantly quiet because I don't know what to talk about. I don't have any facts to like debate with people. So
I mean, you gotta learn. You gotta learn it, man. The quickest way to not be told what to do is to know what you can do. You know what I'm saying? So like, if you don't want people telling you about the facts, learn the fucking facts, and then now you're telling them.
yeah, I was
You
gonna
saw
learn
the
the facts about everything.
you saw the Book of Eli, right?
Yeah,
With Denzel Washington.
yeah, I saw that. What
You
about it?
remember why he carried a Bible in his backpack, right?
Yeah.
And remember he walked through that town, and then those goons like tried to chase him and shit. And
Oh, I remember that.
because the runner of that town, what did he say? He said, "He who has those words controls the world."
Yeah. Fuck, I remember reading that. It's crazy. So it's always crazy about this type of shit that's going around in this world, honestly.
Man, knowledge is power. Knowledge is power, and you gotta inform yourself, man. Arm yourself with the knowledge, and that way nobody can really like discredit you or discredit your opinion. They can only come at you with opinions. And if that's the case, then they're coming at you with only opinions. Then hey, look, you're winning.
Yeah, of course. And then you sit them with facts or something like that. Honestly, I think that's all you got. Any more to share? Anything? Any more stories or anything?
Nah, man. Thank you for having me on here, man. This is a really dope conversation. We have to do it again at some point.
Hey, of course, man. I'll just if you want to ever come back on, just shoot me a text on Instagram or something like that, and I'll more than likely have you again on the podcast. I had a very dope conversation.
Definitely. Thank you right now. You listen, before I go, please let me, Dear Dominic's available on Amazon.com right now.
Hey, shout yourself out. Where can the audience find you? I was literally about to say that.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I do that in every episode. So.
Oh, you see, I was kicking myself off, so you didn't have to do it. You see, I was leaving peacefully. You see that?
Shout your shit out.
On Instagram, Dejuan O'Neal 1, Dejuan O'Neal Oneal, the number 1. Also, the Grown Man Logic podcast on all social media platforms. Dear Dominic's available on Amazon.com. My spoken word poetry EP is available on all streaming platforms. It's called BTKM, The Premonition. Just look for Dejuan J, and stay tuned, man. We got some heat coming between the fall and the spring of next year, and we're just gonna keep this momentum rolling.
Hey, stay tuned for that, guys. Please go show them some support. And you guys know, if you guys are watching this on YouTube, please go subscribe, like, comment, do all that fancy shit. And guys, 80% of you guys are not subscribed, so click the fuck out of that subscribe button, please, or you're just a fat pussy. And if you want to support on Amazon Music and all that, go listen, stream all that. And yeah, I had a very dope conversation with you. Glad to have you on, like I said. And we're out. Have a nice day.
Thanks.